Hi, ladies. My name is Teresa Bandrew, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about your social media marketing. A little bit of background about myself is that I own my own business handling digital and traditional marketing and advertising, and I work with Clear Vision Creative on their social media clients and their client success. So I'm going to dive right into it since we have a short time to cover a lot of things. Setting up your accounts and updating your accounts is extremely important to the success of your social media plans. The first thing you want to be sure of is your branding and your consistent message. Take the time to look through all of your profiles and make sure that they all look the same. I'd like to keep a master document of each client that I'm working with for their social media, so you can start one of those also. That will allow you to keep that updated, updating the phone number, address, email address, website address, anything that might change, or things that you want to keep across all the pages, the similar information. So you can start your document and make sure that your about sections are updated to include the same information and that your message is reaching your audience the same across each page. The important thing to do is find your tone and make sure that your branding sticks with your tone across your pages. I've worked with clients when they've started who have been selling one product on Instagram and one product on Facebook. After we combined their strategies and took their brand and combined it and made it a whole, they found a lot more success in selling their products because their message was consistent across all of their social media platforms and their website. After that, you're going to want to do a competitive analysis. Sit down and figure out the 5 competitions that you have within your industry or 5 industry models that you admire or businesses that you admire, and take a look into what they're doing. Now, keep in mind that some of these places have been in business a lot longer and do have a lot larger platform built over time. So don't pay attention too much to their followers until you get started moving with yours. Your goal is eventually to get there, but for right now, we just want to pay attention to the little things, such as what are they posting? When are they posting? What posts are doing the best? What content seems to be creating the most engagement and the most interaction between your audience? That's going to be what you're paying attention to as you go into the next step and define your target market and build your content for your social media platforms. So next, after you do your competitive analysis and you take a look at everyone else's pages and what they're doing, you're going to want to define your market. While you're doing the competitive analysis, it's important to look at who's liking these things. It doesn't hurt to click on some of the likes and the people who are liking them and look into their interests and see how you can connect the dots and connect that with your company as well. So define your market and figure out who you want to reach with your messaging and your branding. At that point, you'll be able to set up your market for ads, for the tone of your content posts, and different ideas that you can do down the road to incorporate that audience and touch your target market. Once you've built up your pages and everything's in order and your branding is consistent, you're going to pick a content management tool. Whether you're working on one platform or multiple platforms, the only platform that has a with ease schedule is Facebook. And you can't really do any other scheduling from that Facebook platform. So I always suggest to my clients to pick your management tool. There's so many. I work with Hey Orca, which allows you to work with clients and make changes, edits, notes, back and forth, approve posts, and ask for drafts of posts. And that's a really good tool if you have a team working with you. But then there's also similar softwares that don't have as many features at different levels of the versions that you pay for. And one of those is Hootsuite. That's something that's a very simple scheduling tool where you can connect your social media profiles and post directly to them from there, as well as plan out content and schedule content. So you can sit down for a day and schedule all your content out for the month and tweak it throughout the month as you need to, but you have your base there using one of those management tools. That also helps you to keep your plans together. You're going to see next, we're going to talk about content planning. And content planning is a mastered art. You're always going to be changing it and you're always going to be trying to improve it. But once you get it down, it truly is very easy to accommodate and to kind of adjust your schedule for your clients and your target market. So after you've set up your branding and you've done your competitive analysis, you've defined your market, you know who you want to reach, you're ready to get started, you've downloaded and set up your content management tool. Now it's time to plan out your content. So here's some rules of thumb across any platform where you're planning content, it's important to keep certain things in mind. Follow the 80-20 rule. You don't want to constantly be selling things to the people that you are trying to reach. You want them to be aware of your brand and aware of what you offer, but you also want to produce engaging content. You want your brand to stick into their name and stick into their head when they're thinking of things, and use your name when people ask, hey, do you know anybody who handles social media? Great, I know this really great company. And that's because we're putting out a lot of engaging content and staying in front of our target market. Next, you want to research your hashtags and keywords so you can incorporate them into your business posts and pins. The most important thing to remember here is to keep a list of these, an ongoing list that you can refer to when you need to develop your content, add your hashtags, and reach your target audience. These may change from post to post, but when you keep a master list of them, it's a lot easier to go back and see which ones fit within your post, because after you've done it for a little bit, you're going to find that most of those hashtags that you've been working with are the ones that you're going to stick with and change per content as you change your content. Next, we're going to sit down and plan out your month. You can do this in 1 month or 3-month increments. If you do this in 3-month increments, we do suggest that you check in throughout each month a few times to make sure that you're not changing things. Some of my clients produce different videos that need to be put out sooner rather than later, and we have to adjust some of their content for those. So things like that are going to come up regardless of if you have a plan or not. And they're easy to accommodate when you do have a plan, because you can see where there's openings in your social media. What you're going to want to do is to start off posting about 2 or 3 posts per week. If you are new to social media and this platform and profile is new, you're going to want to post for about 3 months before you start heavily inviting people to your pages. That is going to help you to be able to develop your brand and your name and put a lot of content out there so they can see if your page is worth following and if it's something that appeals to them, because you don't want to have people liking your page that doesn't really, it's not your market. They're just liking it to like it. So you want to make sure that your content that you are producing and inviting them to like is something that is going to appeal to them, and hopefully down the road help them to make a purchase through your service or product. A great idea when planning your content is to look into different co-ops and partner resources. So I work with an insurance company who works with Travelers Insurance. Working with them, they produce content each month that I can incorporate into the schedule and do some promotion where I'm not developing all of the content, but rather scheduling in co-ops from their partner resources. So if you work with any vendors or companies, that's something really great to look into and use their content as well. And it helps you, saves you some time trying to plan everything out, because their content's usually pretty great too. If you're using this content or any content where you have the ability to tag a partner, a client, a other business, anyone that you can incorporate is great, because that's going to get your business across a couple different platforms. For instance, when I post through my business about my clients, I'm sure to tag them so they still get exposure as well as I on their pages. And one thing that I know scares some people sometimes, but it is super important, and this is the key of doing social media and having it be successful: going live, updating your stories, interacting, engaging, being original, and being yourself. You want to check in on videos and you want to be yourself. People want to know who they're starting to work with or who they're going to work with down the road. So it's really important that you try to be as much of a natural of yourself as you can be when you're discussing anything with clients on social media. Social media is a platform where you can interact different and freely with them, rather than a phone call that seems a little more formal. Still be formal, but be yourself too. There really is no wrong or right to this. Just be yourself and let them see who you are. And remember to update all of your social media links on your website, on different pages, different blogs that you have. If you have an email signature, incorporate links into there. Anywhere that you can land your links and put them there for people to see them and find your pages and your content is huge, and you should be taking advantage of each one of those resources, as well as your employees. Be sure that they include those in their email signatures as well. So that's a basic overview of the things that you should be doing regularly with your social media profiles, and kind of assessing usually every 6 months, if not definitely every year for your platforms that are existing. You should be doing those competitive analysis, looking at the branding and redefining your target audience, making any tweaks that you have to annually or, 2 times a year if that works best for your business. And you're just starting out and learning, you might want to do that more often and assess it every 3 months, which is why we do the 3-month calendar planning. If that was a lot for you to take in, we are here for any questions that you may have. And the great news is that we also offer services for everything that I discussed today. Doing your social media makeover, cleaning up your platforms, making sure they're all consistent across the board. We also offer services that handle content planning, doing all of your scheduling, handling all of your social media content, working with you to produce content as well as producing some of the content ourselves for you. We reach out to those co-ops and those partners, and we also will do keyword and hashtag research. So everything that I talked about today is something that we can help you with also through the course of your social media challenge and your social media journey. And we're here for every step of the process that you guys may need a hand with. And if you have any questions, again, just let us know. The website is right there on the screen for you to share. So thank you again for your time today. And it was great to present this to you. And I hope that we get to connect a little bit more with some of you in the future. Thank you.